I am God. I am spicy. So, I've been thinking about the Spice Girls and thinking how um, what is important. Well, what can I learn from looking at the Spice Girls? When I was a kid, I had the very first Spice Girls album when I was a little boy. Um, obviously that I remember when I was, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7, that kind of age, and I remember for some reason, well, there was. It's a long story, but basically, I ended up with a Spice Girls sticker magazine, and it wasn't just me; it was my cousins as well. We all, because of the guy who used to look after us. He was a teenager who lived across the road called Christopher, and he would play games with us, take us to the park. We'd play, hockey or football or whatever, playing PlayStation games, that kind of thing. He would look after us when the adults were away, and he bought us Spice Girl magazines as a joke. I guess he thought it was probably funny, but we ended up the kid. Me and my two cousins, we ended up buying all the stickers, and I remember when the Spice Girl single came out, and I remember Pepsi had like this thing where if you get all the ring pulls from Pepsi cans, if you get enough of them, you can send. I think it's like 20 or something like that. You have to get like 20 ring pulls, and you send them off by post, and they'll send you the single back, which is Spice Up Your Life. I think, yeah, it was that one, I think, yeah. Anyways. But what's important about it? Well, it's a really interesting name because it's very interesting word magic. That's what it is. What's so special, what's so magic about the word spice? Well, a very similar word is spike. Obviously, you've heard of, people who get their drinks spiked, as an example. Or, some people have spiky hair. When I was a kid, I used to put gel in my hair, have spiky hair. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting an itchy head now. What the fuck's going on? Oh. There's also that drug which is called spice. I actually smoked spice when I was probably in my teenage years. Probably. When they used to actually sell it at shops. Because they used to sell it at the shops. It used to be a legal high. I remember I bought a bag of it once, and I probably bought 2 bags actually, but the first time I tried it, I just thought, it made me feel sick. Ugh. I didn't like it. Anyways. But also the word picky is in the word spice. And the thing is, when I was a kid, I was a very picky eater. My family always complained about my picky eating habits. Like, I was very, I didn't really like eating vegetables or fruit. I was very picky. I'm not as picky as I used to be, but I am still quite picky. Yeah. Yeah. So, and the thing is, how do I explain that? Well, I'm God, and the world is doing so much horrible magic against me. It makes everything. My life is been made extremely awkward because people keep weaponizing things against me. They keep attacking me with all kinds of spells, and it forces me to do things a certain way. So those sort of things happen because of how the world hates me. And obviously as a young kid, you know what I mean? Like, well, I was young and still learning a lot of things and how to deal with everything. You know what I mean? Anyways, it's complicated. But yeah, this is the thing. Girls are so picky. I went on YouTube. I searched picky girls, and all these videos come up saying, "Ladies, stop being so picky," or and stuff like that. Picky woman who's so picky. I'm picky. That's me. That's my name, Picky. I'm the picky eater. Picky's my word. Not to mention, like, I'm God. I pick. Yeah? I pick what I want. I pick who I want. I'm picky. And I'm spicy as well, yeah. I see the spies. I look at a world of spies, basically. People who mimic me and impersonate me. How is it they repeat my words and copy my actions and impersonate me? How is all that? How is that all happening? Well, obviously, someone's spying on me, right? Someone's relaying the message. Evil spirits, or these people they're remote viewing me. This is the thing. I'm God. Everyone's attracted to my power. Everyone's focused on me. The thing is everyone's focused on me, but no one will acknowledge me at the same time. It sounds like complete insanity. And this is what I have to deal with. I look at a world that constantly reflects me. It doesn't matter where I look. Everyone's doing it in some way or another. And it took me a long time to figure out what was going on. For a long time it wasn't totally apparent to me. It was only when I started to read the Bible and I started learning about certain truths that the world changed how it behaved. When I isolated myself from people, the world showed me that it was spying on me. It was like I could see that people, it was as if the entire world was spying on me and watching me and copying me, and I felt like I was being hunted down by the world. I felt, it freaked me out. At first I thought all my computers had been hacked and my phone had been hacked. And then it was only later on I realized, it's because of spirits. They're communicating. I'm being spied on by spirits, and those spirits are, it seems to me like I'm being spied on, and that's what causes people to mimic me and impersonate me. They're constantly, it's my energy. That's the thing. It's because people are trying to acquire my energy through mimicry. People, it's like, imagine walking down the street and everyone surrounds you and they're all holding mirrors and they're all trying to reflect you while you walk past. Or, that's what they do to me, basically, but, that's an analogy. I'm talking about the world. That's what it tries to do to me, because it wants to pretend it's me, and to do that, it mimics and impersonates me. It's how I know who I am. It took me years to figure out that I'm God. At first, I just assumed that I was being punished by God. I thought, oh, God must really hate me. Like, what if why does he hate me so much? What is it that makes me so worthy of hate when so many people do what they want? And God never seems to punish. God's never done that to them. I don't know anyone else this has ever happened to. I couldn't see another person on this planet I could think, hey, they've gone through the same thing as me. No, it's only me. So then I figured out, oh, I'm God. That's why it's happening to me. It's because demons don't like me. And I know it's me. I know I'm God. And it's horrible because who do I talk to about it? Who can I have a conversation with? Who can I have a relationship with? Nobody wants to have a friendship or a relationship with me. I say that I'm God. I can't lie and say I'm not God. I have to tell you that I'm God. Otherwise, that's no, I can't get into a relationship with someone without them knowing who I am, because it affects the relationship. It is necessary for the person to understand who I am, because people attack me with magic and they don't respect my boundaries and they keep putting stumbling blocks in my way, and they keep trying to steal what is mine. People keep coming towards me to take advantage of me, and then they'll walk off, and then there'll be the next bunch of people who, I would just keep going through that cycle again and again and again and again and again, if I choose to surround myself with people who won't acknowledge that I'm God. So I can't do it. So I'm stuck on my own. I'm miserable. I'm lonely. And there's no one to talk to. There's nothing to do. All I can do is make videos that nobody will watch. I watched that music video by the Spice Girls, Viva Forever, and the music video, it starts off with a book, and the book opens, and there's these two boys, young boys, and they're out in the field, and there's this toy capsule. It opens, and there's this thing. It's sort of, this hop thing, this hoppity spring bird thing in it. And then he gets to another toy capsule, and then these fairies come out, the 5 fairies, which looks like the Spice Girls. And the lyrics are very interesting. It's like, hasta mañana, you'll always be mine, or something like that, which means see you tomorrow, always be mine. Everlasting like the sun, the lyrics like that basically. And it's the thing was, I was a little boy when that came out, and you see that thing, it's a reflection of me. It's about my life. In the lyrics, let me get the lyrics. What does Viva Forever mean? I assume it means live forever. And if you look at, if I read the lyrics to you, I'm God. I'm the second coming of Jesus Christ. Okay? The lyrics are very telling, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'll read it to you. Okay? Do you still remember how we used to be, feeling together, believing whatever my love has said to me? Both of us were dreamers, young love in the sun, felt like my savior, my spirit I gave you. We'd only just begun. Hasta mañana always be mine. Viva forever, I'll be waiting, everlasting like the sun. Live forever for the moment, ever searching for the one. I think that will do. Yeah. So well, who is Live Forever about? Who offered people eternal life? Jesus, God. Yeah, it's me. My mum died of cancer in 2021. She died in a hospice. Yeah, you know how you spell hospice, don't you? It's Ho-Spice. Yeah. The Hospice Girls. See, the world's just waiting for me to die. That's what it's doing. And the thing is that I could, I don't really see any point in living. Because the world doesn't care. I can't ever, it seems to me that I'm never going to have another friendship or relationship with another human being ever again. And that'll be it. I'm going to go. All the world wants to do to me is tear my heart to shreds. Because it hates me that much. And will try to take everything from me. And I'm supposed to just sit here and keep watching it and keep dealing with it day after day. Like I haven't done enough already. And I keep telling myself, why do I have to be here? I keep asking myself, why do I have to stay? I really don't want to. And the other thing is, I feel so traumatized. I feel so hurt that I don't know how I'd ever feel good again. You know, there's what's that song by the Spice Girls? Who do you think you are? What was that movie Jerry Halliwell was in recently? Gran Turismo? Yeah, you know my name's Grant. Yeah. I used to watch Formula One. It's basically the only sport I ever really watched. I mean, I did watch other sports, but Formula One was what I was mostly interested in. So, yeah. But I stopped watching it several years ago because I just thought, well, I don't have time anymore. Too much time. And now, well, I don't want to watch it, to be quite honest. I'm so sick of the world. It hates me and I feel sick. I'm so tired of looking at the world. I'm constantly reminded that I don't want to be here. See, the world spies on me and mimics me and impersonates me. Yet, and I see it. I can tell by I could go on YouTube. You know, everyone reacts to me. That's the thing. I'm constantly watching a world react to me in real time, all the time. I'm the center point of everyone's focus. Yet when I say, "Hey, I'm good," everyone's like, "No, you're not." And then people just carry on mimicking and impersonating me at any given opportunity. And that's it. That's just all I'm left with. That's all I got. My power is my power. People want it. And I have to, I know, like, you know, I'm trying to get people to acknowledge me, and all they want to do is steal from me, mimic me, impersonate me in any way that they can, using witchcraft and word magic. The world's doing all these evil things. The world is doing all these evil things, and the world is in self-destruct mode. The world is going to destruction. It's a slow destruction that's happening, and it's speeding up, right? It's getting faster and faster and faster, and that's all I see. And I'm bored of watching, and I'm bored of talking about this. I'm bored of explaining who I am to a bunch of nobodies, to a bunch of people who won't exist at some point. You know, they're not going to exist. You know, people in the near future. I'm trying to, you know, people who aren't going to exist anymore. Right? What's the point? I'd be better off getting a cat or a dog and keeping to myself, and then when I die, and that'll be that. You know, something like that. I don't know what else to do, really. Yeah, you know, when I was a kid, I used to pick my nose. Yeah, I stopped doing that. I won't tell you when I stopped doing that, but I did stop doing it. It's a bad habit, yeah. I guess, you know, well, that's the thing, right? You know, the family always they used to always say, "Oh, he's such a picky eater. He's such a picky eater." And well, like I am the word magic and all that bullshit. It's no joke. Thought I should mention it. Not because I particularly want you to know that I used to pick my nose when I was a kid. But the fact is I'm tired of spell work getting in my way. And I I'm tired of problems. I don't want these problems anymore. I want them to go away. The fact is the world is sinning. People want to fornicate, people want to have sex as much as they can get of it. Most people, they want as much sex and partying as they can get. And they worship false idols, they worship themselves, they don't love God, they don't love me. What else is there to talk about? Seems like there's nothing to talk about, really. I mean, the world has chosen to hate me. The world doesn't love me. Most people want nothing to do with me. And the thing is that those people can't live without me. So they're going to die. That's a lot of people who are going to die. That's a lot of people who are going to destruction. There are how many? There's almost 8 billion people on this planet. Almost 8 billion people. Was it 7.6? Something like that. I don't know. Something like that. It's 7 something, isn't it? But the fact is, I'm God. I live forever. And I don't want people who don't love me. I don't want people who won't acknowledge me. Why would I want to take people to heaven who won't even acknowledge who I am? I'm God. And they think I'm a nobody and a loser. And they hate me. And they keep doing witchcraft against me. And I try explaining to people that this is a problem, and people are like, they don't hear what I say. They don't hear what I say, they don't understand it. My words have no effect on them, really. I mean, my words won't ever change them because they don't recognize what I'm saying, they don't understand it, and so they'll never change. They deny they say that what I say doesn't make sense, or I'm crazy, and they just carry on doing the same thing. I'm done trying to warn people. You know, I really don't want. I'm past that stage now. I've been warning people. I don't want to keep warning people. I want justice. I'm not talking about Ice Spice, you know, or Just Spice. I'm talking about justice. I want vengeance. I want to feel good. And I want people who have hated me to suffer. I want the people who have ruined my life to suffer. I am the creator. I loved people. And how did they repay me? With hatred. I warned them that terrible things would happen to them. And still they hated me. Even though I loved them. Even though I blessed them in so many ways that they didn't deserve. They took me for granted. They don't love me. And it seems to me that they never will. They'll never change. I've tried everything. If someone said to me that God has been unreasonable, I would not accept that at all. People have been given so many chances and they've thrown those chances away again and again and again and again and again, and they keep doing it. They don't want to stop. So like I was saying about, the videos, and the woman, how, women are accused of being so picky. All they're trying to do is be me, Mr. Picky. It's all about copying me. That's all it's ever about. Except, women, what they want is they want to pretend. They want to mimic me and impersonate me. And they want a guy, and they want to pretend that that guy is me. They want a relationship with God, but they don't want a relationship with an ugly God. That's basically they don't want me, is what I'm saying. Right? They want a guy. They want to choose what God looks like. Yeah, they want to pick their guy and be like, this guy's good. You know, you might think to yourself, oh, that sounds ridiculous, Grant. What the fuck are you talking about? I've explained so many times how word magic works. You may not consciously understand what you're doing. You don't. That's the thing. You're not consciously aware of what you're doing and what you're saying. That's the problem. You're like a robot that's been programmed to do and say certain things. You're not self-aware at all. You're like a demon on a puppet strings. That's what you are. A puppet. Of demons. Well, you're a puppet of me, really. I mean, the thing is I control the light and I control the darkness because, well, ultimately, I'm the power source. Even my enemies, well, my enemies, that's what they want. They want my power. So they're always going to be impersonating me and reflecting me. So ultimately, I'm the puppet master. You know what I mean? It's what I do that affects the world, not them. The fact is, if you're evil, you are working with evil spirits that don't love me. You're on their team, but you're on the losing team. So that's how it is. I'm tired of the heartbreak. I'm tired of the pain. I don't want it anymore. I don't deserve it. I mean, the Spice Girls, people like them, what are they? They're people who, they wanted fame and fortune. And they were happy to work with evil spirits. They were more interested in getting what they wanted. And they don't care about the consequences of their actions. And people keep doing that, and that's what the world does. People are only focused on what they want rather than the consequences of their actions. And when people behave like that, it is destructive. And then people wonder why everything's falling apart. Everything's getting worse. Things never ever seem to get better. You know, over the last 40 years, things have steadily gotten worse. Whether it's the economy or it's culture or it's the amount of degeneracy in music and TV and films, it's destructive behavior. It's the world on the path to destruction, and that's all there is. That's all that's left. That's all that the world wants to do: destroy itself, because it would rather do that than love me. It would rather break my heart and delude itself. The world will delude itself in thinking that it's taking what belongs to me. No, what's happening is you're simply enjoying your lives the way you choose to live, how you want to live, right? You choose to live a life of fornication and idol worship, worshipping false idols, and doing as you please. And eventually that runs out. You know, you get old, you die, if you make it that far. Or you'll die when you're young, or middle-aged. And the world is it's completely changing. The world is getting to the point, people aren't going to want to live in this world anymore because it's going to be so bad. People are going to wish they were all dead. You know, what if I told you that day is sooner than you think? What if I told you that day is going to be sooner than you think? I mean, you should be terrified, but you probably aren't. You'll wait until it happens, and then you'll change your mind. Won't you? Yeah. So, hey, you notice that the word dad is in the word dead. Did you notice that? Yeah. Believe me when I say that's not a coincidence. The fact is the world wants me to be dead. It always did. You know, I didn't crucify myself for fun. Do you know what I mean? I didn't think, hey, you know what? Getting crucified, that'll be fun. So, I will insist on shuffling some cards. Five of Cups. Maybe you're familiar, maybe you can figure out what this card means. It's sadness, it's grief, bad emotions, bad feelings, unhappiness. Yeah. The Empress. Page of Swords. Four of Cups. Three of Swords. Page of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune. Ten of Swords. Strength. Queen of Cups. Whoa. Temperance. Two of Wands. Eight of Cups. Nine of Wands. Excuse me. Okay. I'm getting a very itchy face. Yeah. Ghosts. Nine of Pentacles. Ten of Wands. Six of Swords. Three of Pentacles. King of Cups. Ten of Pentacles. Six of Wands. The Chariot. Ace of Wands. Ten of Cups. King of Wands. The Star. It's okay. I think I'll stop there. Okay. Okay. So let's start off here, okay? So we've got the Five of Cups, grief, sadness. The Empress. So there's this Woman. Page of Swords. So in this case, I would assume the Page of Swords is indicating that the Empress is not very knowledgeable or good at communication. She's stupid, to put it simply. Four of Cups, so self-serving disinterest. You know, there's this cup of water being offered through the cloud, and the person is not really interested. They're like, leave me alone. So self-serving disinterest. And then we have the Three of Swords. There's this heartbreak. Then we got the Page of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune. So this is talking about destiny and fate. So Ten of Swords. So, you know, this could be, you know, this is like the shocking truth, the dead ends, the betrayal or backstabbing. It's the shocking truth, something like that. Then we got Strength, which can be talking about lust. So, you know, betrayal, lust, Queen of Cups, Temperance. So, you know, the Queen of Cups, you know, she's supposed to be a loving, nurturing woman. But really, what is the Queen of Cups? She's really, well, it's alchemy. You know, that is all that is magic. It's horror magic. It's horror magic. Sex magic. You know, harlot magic. Playing the harlot. Yeah. Two of Wands. Eight of Cups. Nine of Wands. Nine of Pentacles. So Two of Wands can be, you know, it's doing anal sex. Eight of Cups is, you know, it's enemas, douching, it's disappointment, you know. So, you know, it seems to me it's sex magic. There's the Ten of Wands, exhaustion, or it's sex. Moving on to Six of Swords, Three of Pentacles, working together, King of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, Six of Wands, the Chariot, Ace of Wands, Ten of Cups, King of Wands, the Star. So, you know, basically what that's saying is, you know, the Wheel of Fortune, the destiny is that, you know, people of the world, there is heartbreak happening. You know, that is your destiny, heartbreak. Because my heart's been broken. The world, all you've wanted to do was break my heart and kill me. That's all you've wanted to do to me. Justice is you experiencing heartbreak. It's justice that you feel pain and suffer. I live forever. Yeah? Viva forever. That's me. The fact is, if people choose to work with me, they can live. But if people refuse to work with me, they die. It's as simple as that. I could have had a nice life. If people hadn't tried to ruin me, if people hadn't hated me, I would have lived a very different life. I'd probably be out partying right now, having a good time. I'd be happy. And people would like me, but people had to do their best to try to ruin me and hurt me and break me, and leaving me to feel miserable and alone. People who've done this to me are going to experience pain, because you can't inflict pain on me and not expect to deal with the consequences when you should have known better. People are slow learners, aren't they? They really are. In fact, I would say most people aren't learners at all. You simply change when you have to change. If you change, that is. Anyways, there's the betrayal, the lust, the Queen of Cups, who's she's got a cup of filth. That's what her cup is filled with. It's filled with dirt. She's a witch doing sex magic. So there's the Six of Swords, moving to Three of Pentacles, working together. Then there's the King of Cups, and then there's the Ten of Pentacles, Six of Wands, the Chariot, Ace of Wands, Ten of Cups, King of Wands, the Star. So what that is what that's about is giving me justice, giving me what I deserve. This, the Star. Because I'm God, and I deserve to be heard by people. I deserve to have people's attention. And I deserve to have people's love and respect. Otherwise, there won't be anything left. That's the thing. Without me, there is nothing left. That's the thing. Without me, you're not going to have. That's people. They think they're living their lives. The news is bad every day, but you carry on anyway. You think, well, you know what? Put on a CD or your MP3s, or go on YouTube and listen to your favorite podcast or whatever the fuck it is. What's your favorite film? What's your favorite Netflix show? Go round to your mates for a shag or whatever it is. Bloody bloody blah. Go for a party. Go to the pub. Yeah, that's what people do. people of the world. They're totally, they have no time for God. They have no time for me. Sorry. Oh. Sorry. And, these people who they love the world. They want to be able to live their life the way they want to, but they're not going to be able to do that. That is quickly disappearing. It will be gone soon. It won't be there anymore. It's going. I know people who, there are some people who they like to, well, I get the impression there are people who are checking my Facebook page, or they're watching my YouTube videos now and again. They watch every so often, perhaps, I don't know. Something's happening anyway. But the fact is that there are people who like to laugh at me. They like to say that I'm crazy. They'll be proven wrong. I've had to endure a lot of mockery in my life. I'm used to it. The fact is, excuse me. Oof. So, the thing about, let me explain how I think of things at the moment. I mean, I'm 38 years old. I kind of wish I was still 30. I kind of wish I was still 25. I kind of wish I was still 20. It hurts. It hurts that I've wasted so much time doing this. For the last 4 years, I could have been traveling around the world. I could have been partying. I could have been doing all kinds of stuff like that. I could have been around looking for a woman. I could have been around, And the fact is, 4 years ago, and I was in a lot better shape than I am today. I could have focused on my health. I could have traveled the world. I could have done all kinds of things. But I chose to do this because I had to. I didn't really feel like I had any choice in that. and it's the situation. It's how I explain. I am God, and I can't have relationships with people without them understanding who I am, because I am very different from everyone else. There is no one else on this planet. There is no one else who exists who has my power. My power is unique to me because I'm God. And so people treat me differently. And how people treat me, it really matters a lot more. If you don't understand what I'm saying, if you understand how, and the Israelites were told how to approach the tent of the tabernacle, where the Ark of the Covenant, was kept. The Ark of the Covenant was where my spirit was dwelling. Then, and people were told to approach in a certain manner because it matters. The thing is that people do these things. They do all sorts of things, to try to steal my power. They approach me disrespectfully. They have evil intentions towards me, and it affects me. But at the same time, that person is in a very dangerous situation. People who play that game with me are playing a very dangerous game, and it won't end well for them. I've always thought of myself as a polite guy, and I tend to avoid conflict with people. But sometimes, I understand the fact that I can't always run away from conflict. Sometimes I have to meet people face to face, and conflict will happen. Things that, I have... I'm fully aware that if I never, that's the thing. I'm not stupid. Okay? I do what I have to do when I have to do it. And sometimes that means I have to go completely out of my comfort zone, and I do something like totally wild that I wouldn't normally do. And sometimes I do those things because I feel like, anyway, I've said enough about that. Okay. I honestly keep thinking to myself, because my heart's been broken so many times, it's like, how am I ever going to get through this? I don't know. I really don't know. I know I'm supposed to get through this. I know I'm supposed to get through this somehow, but how, I couldn't tell you. I simply take I live my life one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, and that's it. The fact is, I really don't want to be here, but at the same time, getting out of here is a lot more difficult than saying I don't want to be here. You know, I can wish I wasn't here, and I think, well, maybe I could do something about that, but you know, that's not, you know, yeah, I don't know what to do with that. I really don't know. And the thing is, all I do is I just keep watching time move forward, and I'm still here, and I keep going, and that's it. As much as I hate even being here, I keep going. I just keep going and going and going. So yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen in the future. Well, I know what's going to happen to a certain extent, but yeah, I'm still waiting. I've been waiting a long time. I feel very heartbroken, miserable, lonely, and very disappointed. You know, I want to be happy. I want to find my happiness again. I want to feel good. I want to feel like I'm happy to live my life again. I just don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know how it's going to happen. I am God, so I do wonder, you know, what great things could happen. I don't know. I have to wait and find out. I remember when I was a kid, I used to always play, well, you know the game Sonic the Hedgehog. He's got the spiky blue hair kind of thing. He doesn't really look like a hedgehog, does he? But you know how, you know, if you fall on the spikes, you lose all the rings, and you have to get up and collect them all again. It's just making me think, you know, like, I mean, you know what Freemasons are, you know, Masonic, yeah, Masonic is a word, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. There's not really much more I can say about this that I haven't already said. Um, yeah, I can't think of anything else. So I'll leave it there. I'll finish here. Okay.